Slavery led to the creation of Wall Street. Today, we are talking about Pluto transiting Shravana. We are the first in our generations to see such a transit. The last time Pluto transited Shravana was February 20th, 1778 to February 2nd, 1787. 2 years after the foundation of America. This last transit occurred during the peak transatlantic slave trade. The immense profits generated from the forced labor of enslaved people helped to fuel capital accumulation in emerging financial centers on both sides of the Atlantic. Wealthy plantation owners and merchants deposited gold, silver, and proceeds from slavery into financial institutions. You have these people who are highly involved in slavery, and they're taking the money that they've gained indirectly from slavery or directly from slavery and pouring it into new financial institutions that were being created in the US. Banks and insurance firms provided credit loans and financial services that enabled the purchase of land, enslaved people, and commercial ventures tied to the export of these goods. Isn't that crazy? You could take out a loan for a slave. Or banks could kind of facilitate the auction of slaves. Slaves were technically property. So what happened was you can borrow against like a house, right? If you say, hey, I want to borrow against this house, take out some money and buy something else. You could do that with actually enslaved people too at this time. You can borrow against a slave if you couldn't repay your debts, or maybe you failed to make interest payments. They could take your enslaved person, set up an auction and sell the slave, and then, obviously reap their profits back. Instead of keeping this wealth idle in private chests, these owners actually purchased shares in newly chartered banks, receiving certificates, and function more so like a modern stock. Financial institutions such as the Bank of North America, which chartered in 1781, became venues for pooling this capital, which they then lent at interest to merchants, plantation owners, and governments. These individuals were entitled to shares of banks' profits, often paid out periodically like dividends, similar to how investors receive returns. And you can see how this is setting the backbone for a lot of financial institutions today. As the buying and the selling of bank shares grew increasingly common among brokers and investors, informal securities trading expanded, contributing to the environment that led to the formal establishment of the New York Stock Exchange in 1792. Now you can see what I'm talking about, how part of this security trading was a result of slavery, which led to the creation of Wall Street.